Thank you, Ben. So now for our partner agency in Fayette County. Whew, spit fire. Fayette County has some of the most lively individuals there. In a good way, y'all. I mean, like, it's awesome. It really is awesome. When they say it's different, it's different. But I love it. I love it because I go, I'll attend MDIT in Raleigh County, and I'm business casual. I'm doing my thing. I can go there, and it's like I can just let loose. I can let my hair down, I can go in jeans, and I love it because it's just a culture where they really embrace the simplicity of life sometimes, but they also appreciate the humanity behind supporting their team members, and everybody in that county knows everybody, and I mean it's similar here, but not like it is there, okay? It ain't the same. And that's a good thing because all they gotta do is pick up the call or phone and say, hey, I need this. And like Kendall, I don't even know how Kendall does what she does, but she's like already half CIA. She might as well be because she knows everybody in the county. And things get done. And I love that about Fayette County. And for tonight's award recipient for partner agency in Fayette County, man, they do a great job, and they're burdened with a lot of stuff because it's a small department, and knowing that just makes it more powerful because they are a small department and they're dealing with a lot of really hard cases. So for tonight, Fayette County Sheriff's Department, you have received the award for tonight.
Hi, folks. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Again, thank Just for Kids. For me, almost 30 years of doing this. My training officer, retired sergeant from the Fayette County Sheriff's Office, is here to support us. Another retired captain, Jim Sizemore, is here tonight, who helped create Just for Kids, which is one of the first 2 child advocacy centers in the state of West Virginia. In my family, we live child advocacy. My son is a detective for the city of Oak Hill, 13 years. His fiance, Kendall. So we argue and fight about every case every day. In fact, Kendall makes comment that she gets a phone call from me driving home, only to get off the phone and my son call and tell her the exact same thing that I just told her. So when I found out we were getting this award tonight, I was so honored. And I tried to think of something that I could pass on to everyone here. And there was a question asked earlier, what can you look for? What can you see? And so with that, retired Captain Sizemore helped me put together a thing tonight. And I'm going to read it. I apologize for not memorizing it, but I'm just going to read it because I don't want to leave anything out, and maybe it'll help you as law enforcement or as just a civilian that's walking the streets shopping with their family. Something to look for. And we looked through, and Judith Herman, who is a psychiatrist and has studied these types of things through Harvard Medical School, she said, in order to escape accountability for his crimes, the perpetrator does everything in his power to promote forgetting. If secrecy fails, the perpetrator attacks credibility of his victim. If he cannot silence her absolutely, he tries to make sure no one listens. And that's the case. And to go on, these child predators live and walk unseen amongst us. They are able to remain in the shadows because they often project themselves as pillars of the community. Doctors, lawyers, preachers, teachers, barbers, police officers, firefighters, or just the good neighbor down the street who is always ready to lend a helping hand to anyone. They use gifts and promises. They often threats to make sure the victim keep their secrets. They often tell their victims that if they do tell anyone about the abuse, no one will believe them. And you know what? A lot of times they're right. And we see that so many times. And in many, if not most cases, when a child finally comes forward and discloses that he or she has been abused, members of the community almost immediately take to Facebook, online discussion groups, and the lobby of the local post office to loudly defend the accused perpetrator. He goes to church every Sunday and sings in the choir. He'd never do something like this. He's volunteered his time as a Little League coach for the past 20 years. I'll bet the accuser is some kid who didn't make the team. She's a great teacher, always looking out for the kids. It's probably a kid who was failing her class. Imagine being a young child who has suffered physical or sexual abuse at the hands of a family member or trusted family friend for several years, and when you finally get the courage to come forward, no one believes you. For far too long, the culture of silence persists, and cases of abuse remain hidden in the shadows, undisclosed, unreported, uninvestigated, and unprosecuted, while the perpetrators maintain their perfect public image. Then something kind of amazing happened, the development of the Child Advocacy Center. Today, when children come forward to report abuse, they are quickly assured that they're not alone and that it's not their fault, that help is available, and most importantly, that they are believed. Kids who come forward today are able to disclose about the worst moments in their young lives in a comfortable, private, child-friendly setting to someone who is trained to listen. They're given access to counseling, therapy, health care, and the other resources and support that they need to make it through this physical and emotional trauma. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office has partnered with Just for Kids Child Advocacy Center since day one. We've sent our detectives to forensic interviewing training. We've established relations with Child Protective Services investigators, victim services, providers, healthcare professionals, and prosecuting attorneys. We've learned to build cases and help hold perpetrators accountable for their crimes, and most importantly, we've learned to listen to the kids. The Just for Kids Child Advocacy Center in Fayette County was as I've said, one of the first two in the county to gain full national accreditation. The Child Advocacy Centers in Fayette and Greenbrier counties were both granted this accreditation on the same day, and this has always been and continues to be a team effort. The forensic interviewers from Just for Kids work with the child victims to get the information we need to start an investigation, while the victim services providers work with the children to make sure they have the resources and support they need as the case progresses. Our detectives work closely with the intake workers and Child Protective Services to make sure that not only are the known victims protected, but that other children in the home are also protected. Our support staff helps with the transcription and analysis of child interviews, while our forensic staff helps with the collection, analysis, and forensic testing of physical evidence. Once a case is developed, we work closely with the Office of the Fayette County Prosecuting Attorney to see that perpetrators are held accountable for their despicable crimes. This work is far from easy, and it inflicts a severe mental and emotional toll on everyone involved. At the end of the day, however, all the stress and mental and emotional trauma are worth it when we do our jobs. The bad guys are arrested, prosecuted, convicted, and sent to prison for their crimes, usually for a very long time, And as everyone knows, child molesters really enjoy their time in prison. And most importantly, child victims know that someone has been willing to listen to them and believe them and fight to keep them safe. This work is always and will always require a team effort. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office is proud to be a part of this team, and on behalf of the Fayette County Sheriff's Office, I am proud to accept this award this evening. And just to extend the thanks, Sarah Smith, she works for our prosecutor's office. Handles about 95% of all of our child cases. And I admire her for the one thing. She takes her cases to court no matter what, win or lose. That at least shows that child that we're in their corner and we're there to help them. And one thing that my son said when he received his Champion of Children's Award several years ago, thank the victim. Thank you, victim, for having the courage and the strength in your little heart to tell your story so that we can help you. And with that, thank you.